Ow! Excuse me.
Excuse you, first of all.
Excuse you.
And why are you in my neighborhood?
I can go wherever I please.
Okay, two things wrong with that.
What?
My neighborhood,
Your neighborhood?
and you don't normally walk.
You don't own it, for one thing. It's a public park.
Why are you here then? That's what I'm trying to figure
I
out.
just wanted to go for a walk.
Okay.
I work around this neighborhood.
You got me there.
You know,
but, I've been seeing your videos.
Seen yours too. Not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, you did say you needed someone in videos, though.
I think my videos have been alright.
I mean,
Your videos have been not that bad.
I was just quoting you. That's all I'm doing.
Why are you quoting me?
Alright.
Okay, why are we fighting? We've done this before.
This was all you.
What are you talking about? It's all me.
You were late.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You were rude.
You were rude too.
Okay,
Okay.
But you were interrupting.
I'll give you that. Alright, fine. Okay. I got a big head. We were doing good. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry.
I mean, there's really only one way to solve an argument between Dante and Zach.
How do we solve this argument between us? There's no one around. I mean,
We have to go play on the playground.
do we have to go play on the playground?
I mean, if you're
Are
up for
Are
it,
you down for it?
I'm down to clown.
Let's do it.
Friends?
Friends.
Don't shake hands.
They hug.
Friends high five.
Are we gonna high five?
We're gonna high five.
Let's high five. Ready? Set, go. Yeah! That was fun.
That was so much fun. Oh my god.
So, we have a show to do that we've been kind of neglecting. Gotham's been on, and we haven't talked
Yeah.
about it.
But you know what?
It's actually Wednesday. We gotta go.
Oh, it is.
Can you,
Yeah.
you had special powers the first episode. I think you forgot
Do you
about.
want me to reuse them?
Please do.
All right.
Ready?
Here goes nothing.
All right.
my
we had
God.
jackets on in the last shot.
And
different clothes. I don't know. Whatever.
I shaved.
We're keeping this in. This is all going in.
My mustache fell off midway.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, we're back, guys.
I'm scared.
You're scared of what?
Time
The mustache.
continuum.
The time continuum. That is this makes no sense. Like my statement right
All right,
now.
back-
Move over.
Is it me?
I'm at the edge of the table.
That's what she
End
said.
of life.
Okay. So we are back with.
Oh my god, Comic Book Mania is back. It's been a while. We had that little feud going on
What feud?
for the last month and a
We're
half.
friends.
No, we weren't. There's an intro that's going to be before this that you'll see what happens.
Is there?
Yeah.
Great. More work for me. You douche.
I appreciate you. This is the reason we got into the fight for the first time. Okay.
So,
Comic Book Mania is back.
first off, we're gonna start with news.
There is none.
Yes, there is.
What?
Comic Book Mania's back. That's news.
Marvel, DC news, you suck. We're
Screw
back.
Marvel.
We're back.
There were some stories, but we've been gone so
And
long.
before we begin everything else, though,
Rude.
we do have a sponsor for today's video. And future videos, maybe, if they like us. Because they usually do that, and it's amazing every time. DCTVUniverse.com. We're contributors on there. We write posts every week.
I post rights.
You post rights on that site, Dead to Rights. And
Bill
it's just,
of
we
Rights.
talk about TV Universe. Great contributors. The main guy, Josh, he's a cool mother sucker.
Everyone on that thing's cool, so...
And we love you guys, and thank you guys for letting us be on that page.
Yes.
And we have great articles.
So they also have a Facebook page.
Follow them on
DCTV
Facebook.
Universe.
We post there all the time, too.
So go check it out. But enough about them.
Thank you,
We have to talk
sponsors.
about us.
We have to talk... What about us? We don't talk about us.
I'm done again.
So you can go off and do terrible videos for a month.
I'm sorry.
Well, they ain't really bad. Do it, damn it.
What did you say?
I was in mid-drink. I said, but that ain't none of my business, Dad.
Oh.
I should have did that before I
Yeah, you
drank,
probably
but
should've.
whatever.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the TV show. So if you don't want
Okay.
spoilers, you cut away now.
You
'cause
cuddle
this is-
away.
Oh, man.
No, but we'll see you guys next time for more
For news, actual news.
We don't have any news this week because Yeah, that's it.
But
TV show time. There's
Okay.
only one TV show we're not going to be talking about because it's not on yet.
what do you mean?
Walking Dead's not on.
Yes, it is.
Comes on next.
It's always on in here.
Always here, but that is not new episodes unless you're psychic
don't know
and you're
that.
watching new episodes.
But let's get started with Gotham.
We had 2 episodes we have to talk about. First one back. I predicted this, by the way.
Did you?
The villain was going to be the electrocutioner. Not if you predicted that.
No.
But what happens to him in the second episode? We're not talking about that.
But okay, so the first episode,
Jim is in Gotham.
Jimmy James
Arkham.
Gordon. He's in
Arkham.
Arkham. He's there for this episode.
1 episode. Actually, does he go back to the second episode or no?
No.
Okay, he doesn't go back in the second episode.
So-
but yeah, he's looking. He got last year. He got fired.
He didn't get fired. He got demoted.
He got demoted to Arkham, and then he has to deal with all the inmates.
So basically,
The inmates are putting on a play at the beginning of the episode.
God, I don't even want to talk about this episode.
And then one inmate just attacks one of the other inmates. They go.
That was funny.
And then they find out somebody's been torturing the inmates, so they have to go on a big manhunt for it. And my favorite scene in this episode is when Harvey sees Jim for the first time. And he's like, "Hey, buddy!" And he's all happy to see him. I'm like, that is adorable.
Yeah.
And I love them two together. It's amazing.
So basically, there was a killer. They need to figure it out. Turns out it was 2 people.
Yeah.
His name is
Advent or something like that.
Aaron. Aaron was the buff
tall,
guy.
buff dude.
And then it was
The electrocutioner.
Jack Gruber.
The electrocutioner.
Yes.
And they used the woman that was actually an inmate the entire time to get them start a riot and get them out of Arkham.
I didn't like this episode that much.
And the director was an asshole, and I hated him.
For what?
Lang, whatever his name was.
Oh, director.
He was
Dr. Director Lang.
He was just like if he had a mustache, he'd be twirling it the entire episode. I hate you, Jim Gordon.
I like. Dr.
And then he
Director
died
Lang.
or died. We don't know. If
No, he died.
Did he die?
He
Okay,
got his throat slit.
you can survive from that.
No, you can't.
Chaz can.
Well, that's because he has like 31 lives.
Spoiler for Friday.
Didn't he already get his throat sliced before? Mm-hmm. By the lady with the mask.
With stabbing and everything, but that's for Constantine.
All right, so
That's
that
the first
episode
episode.
sucked. Basically, the electrocutioner gets out, and then they ended it.
And Jim is now and Harvey are now looking for him.
So now the second episode,
We find out that Jim is back with the PD for one day.
GCPD.
The commissioner comes in. We finally meet
Commissioner
him,
Loeb.
and he gives Jim and Harvey one day to find the electrocutioner.
By the way, the first episode didn't have much with Penguin, did it?
No, but this episode fixed all
Oh,
that. This episode is probably my favorite in the entire series.
It was an amazing episode.
I see why you don't like it. A lot of people didn't like it because of what happens to the electrocutioner. But I think that what's going on with the Falcone, Maroney, Fish, and Penguin is just like the
Let's talk about the
crux.
electrocutioner thing. So basically,
Did he have a thing in this episode?
yeah, I mean, it looked like he killed. Well, all right. So they did something with the Riddler where they brought the Riddler in. And he was like, maybe you should wear your rubber boots. And Harvey, I was dead when he said this. And he was like, no, Ma, I don't want to wear my rubbers to work today.
And then Jim was like, just give me the shoes.
Yeah, and then Jim wore the boots. And then it turned out to help him because the electrocutioner electrocuted
the entire
Shocker.
GCPD.
And, oh, no pun intended with that one. I said shocker.
No, it was a big And then Jim is
so
about to
Jim
get...
was still up, and he was like, yeah!
And Jim was about to get shocked, and then he's like, I have a plan, and he throws water on him. And that's the electrocutioner
Yeah,
for
he
you.
short-circuited him.
And we'll probably see him in the seasons to come, but I don't care about that part.
During all that, Maroney and Penguin had a huge
Are
part.
in the GCPD because...
Well, first they were out to eat.
And then the electrocutioner is looking for Maroney because he set him up before. And Penguin is trying to get to Falcone because Fish has Liza, whatever her name is.
Elsa.
And they're basically, Fish is going after Falcone finally, and they reveal it. They have a phone conversation. Fish is like, I have your woman.
But he doesn't know it's Fish.
He doesn't. And then he finds out she's on the phone, and Falcone is like, is just being depressed, and he tells Zaz, I don't want you to do anything, just keep me and Liza safe.
Yeah.
But then Penguin finally gets away from Maroney.
Well, before that, this was huge.
Yeah, okay. I forgot about
Penguin gets electrocuted, he's passed out, he's in the back of an ambulance with Maroney sitting near him.
And Jim is talking to him.
And Penguin jumps up and he goes, excuse me, Don Maroney, I have to get out of here.
No, he doesn't even say Don Maroney. He doesn't think he's with him. He's like, excuse me, everybody, I gotta go to Falcone's house to
I
talk
have to go
him
meet Falcone
for some business.
for a very important meeting, and then passes back out. Maroney's like, what is this all about? So
they get to the GCPD where this all happens, and Maroni's like, go see your... Because Penguin's throughout the episode...
pleads with him. He's like, I swear on her...
On my mother's my mother's life, strike her down if I'm lying. And of course, he's wishing for the death of his mother. But he goes off...
It's creepy.
Yeah, she is. Carol Kane's amazing, though.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to Falcone, and he finally reveals to him that Fish has been behind Liza the entire time. But he slaps the shit out of Penguin for thinking he lies. Because
Falcone doesn't believe it. And then Penguin says something that proves it. And he says,
when have I ever been wrong?
Well, he doesn't... No. He also says... She chose her because she looks like her mother.
Yes.
And Falcone had to see it for himself. And when he sees it, he looks at Fish and says, "Fish, I
can forgive a lot. I can forgive a lot.
But mothers were off the table."
He's like, "My beautiful mother," and then
he brushes a tear away from Liza, and he says,
"Murders her." Well, it was amazing.
He says, "You're a beautiful girl, and you have a bright future," or something like that.
You didn't have to be a part of this.
Yeah,
chokes her out.
Chokes her to death.
And then he gets his guys to take for fishing.
Yeah, and then he goes, "You can come in now." And the Penguin hobbles in, which his walk is getting perfect.
He is the best. I've said this before on the show. He's the best part about Gotham. And he is... Danny DeVito, Penguin, was like, he's one of the best Penguins I've ever seen. Yeah.
So then, now we're setting up for this week's episode.
And he says to Fish, when he sees her, he's like,
Fish.
"Hello, Fish," and the smile, and it's like... Perfect. That's where I want this show to go.
Oh, but Gordon's back on the GCPD.
Yep, for good. And he had a good little thing with the commissioner.
And he had a good little thing with Tompkins, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
They made out in the shower.
That's another thing I don't care about. Well, not in the shower, the locker room. But I don't care about that. I don't care about it. I want villains. This show would be better if it was just all about the villains.
If it was just about
the villains, the mob stuff, this show would be perfect. But we have to have...
They did get picked up for a second season.
Yeah, I don't... wait, so this show gets picked up by Constantine Duncan, which pisses me off because...
Well, we'll talk about that.
Talk about that in a minute. But now we're going to talk about Flash came back with a fan... That was fast. With a fantastic episode. I think the ending got me.
Oh crap! I'm trying to
when
remember
him and Joe are in the end
that was awesome.
I love the dynamic between Joe and Barry.
Well, first of all, the villains were
Captain Cold and Heatwave.
There you go.
I love Cisco in that episode. He's like, "It's like a heat wave."
And there it is. And Wells is like, "Stop that!"
It's like, "Stop it! We don't need to hear this anymore." So Barry is in this episode is dealing with the whole thing.
He was not good enough.
Reverse Flash.
Because he couldn't beat Reverse Flash, so he's training harder and harder.
Wells is telling him, "Don't care about the police. Let them handle it. Just worry about your training."
Yeah.
And then he
realizes that's wrong. He needs to worry about others. Alpha.
So basically, Heatwave and Captain Cold are coming back. Captain Cold wants to deal with Barry. He wants to kill him. Yeah. Heatwave just wants the thing that they're looking for, which is a painting, which is fire and ice, which is kind of like
it was very symbolic
for them.
Well, it's symbolic for them.
Or it could even be for Ronnie and Caitlin.
That's the point.
That's all. It's a lot of symbolism in this episode. So Caitlin's also looking for Ronnie. She finds one of the students that worked on.
And for those of you that have read the comics, you know Jason Rush.
Yes.
He's a very, very important character. I do not want to spoil anything about him.
It's coming up. It's going to be amazing.
Exactly.
But she finally finds out that the doctor, I forget his name. What's his name? That's going to become...
Stein.
Okay, Dr. Stein. She finds out who he is. Great actor, by the way, for Dr. Stein. I love him.
I didn't see it.
He's a fantastic... They showed the picture of him.
I saw that,
yeah, but the actor that plays is going to be playing Dr. Stein's going to be fantastic. And she's looking for Ronnie, and then... She gets to his, and then Captain Cold and Heatwave.
By the way, the guy they got to play Jason is perfect. I got to show you a picture.
Jason Rush, yeah.
I got to show you a picture.
I think I've seen that.
He looks just like him. It's perfect.
So Caitlin gets taken. Cisco and Joe go to get her. Cisco trips the wire.
Yeah.
That she's under, and then Joe saves the day,
which was awesome.
Yeah, and then Barry has to go fight Captain Cold and Heatwave, which I think one of the best.
He had to make them cross the streams.
And Cisco's like, and Barry's like Ghostbusters? He's like, there's never been a more scientifically accurate representation for this.
Yeah.
But I love this episode because a lot of relationships got better in this episode, too.
Well, he was dealing with how he wasn't good enough, and he finally proved it by beating them, and instead of going fast, that wasn't the issue. He had to go slow.
Eddie had a great episode, too. He finally appreciates the Flash. Everybody gets shown. Flash appears to everybody now. Everybody knows there's a Flash.
Yeah. And Eddie saves him.
Eddie saves him, which I loved. And he's next to him, and he's like, thanks, detective, and he runs off, and it's fantastic.
And then
Cisco gets recognition from the police department too, which was awesome.
And then at the end, they had Iris is moving out with Eddie. We know that.
Yes, and my favorite scene of the episode. Even though this episode's fantastic.
Joe is there, and it's very awkward, and Joe goes, well, I'm gonna go do something else. And they talk, and he's like, they say sweet words back
Barry's like, I can see into the future. And she's like, really? You never told me that. And he tells her, there's a future where we're best friends again. It's not awkward, and you and Eddie are fantastic together. It's a really sweet moment. And they fist bump.
They do a little fist bump.
And then Barry and Joe are on the couch, and Joe is like,
I miss having you around here, buddy.
And then Barry's like, it's kind of weird for my neighbors to notice me just running out in and out of all kinds of bars. And they're basically hinting at them moving in together. And Barry's like, and Joe's like, you don't have to do it for my sake. Just stay over there. And then Barry runs off, gets his stuff.
2 seconds later, he's back with all of his luggage, and he goes, so you going to help me move in, roomie?
No, he says to him, he's like, you get the pizza, I'll pack up. He's like, no, I don't want to miss that. And they clink their drinks, and it's just all sweet. And I loved it.
It was a great episode.
Joe's dying soon. That's what this whole thing makes me think.
Are we marking your words?
Yeah, I'll mark it now. Joe, I don't think either by the end of the season or beginning of season 2, which is awesome. Flash got renewed for season 2.
Oh, yeah.
And the next show got renewed for season 4. But fantastic mid-season premiere. Looking forward to it.
At the end.
What happened?
Captain Cold and Heatwave, they're going away in the van.
Oh, yeah.
And
I forgot. It was before the whole Joe thing. It was before the whole Joe thing, yeah.
Well, you hear the gunfire, and then you see the door rip off. And
who is
Captain
the sister?
Cold,
I have no idea.
You don't know?
I have no idea. I don't want to spoil it. I want to be...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to
They already said who it was.
I haven't looked on spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Because the Flash is just like...
Basically, what happens is the door gets ripped off, and then... Captain Cold looks at Heatwave, and he goes, there's always another plan.
It's all part of the plan.
And he looks over to the door and goes, hey, sis.
I don't know who it is.
I know. I'm very excited.
A lot of people are. I've heard
this means the Rogues are coming.
And the Rogues are who?
Captain Cold, Heatwave, Pied Piper.
Pied Piper's going to be on next week's episode, by the way. The sister.
Captain Cold's sister.
Don't tell me who it is.
And
is it someone I know, though?
Probably not.
Probably not?
Yeah.
But they've also hinted at Killer Bee coming into the series, too.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, they said a bee, micro-sized bee.
Killer Bee or Queen Bee?
Or Red Bee.
Red Bee.
He's part of the Rogue Scout. It's a bee villain. So yeah, fantastic episode. I loved it. And now we can move on to Arrow, which is getting a season 4.
Yes.
I love it. Can't wait.
But...
Ollie's not dead.
Ollie's dead.
Ollie's not dead.
Dead.
No, this episode... It reaffirms that you don't need Oliver at the center to have
He's dead.
A fantastic episode like this one. I think this is one of the best episodes they've ever done.
He's dead.
What's her name? God damn it.
Felicity.
Laurel had a good episode.
Oh, ugh.
Laurel had I'm giving her
badass with that bow staff.
She's gonna be a great Black Canary. I didn't think it was gonna happen. But
yeah.
the previews,
by the way, Laurel turns into fucking Black Canary.
Yeah, I think they kind of figured.
And at the end, they show it.
The scene that they set her up to become Black Canary. Yeah. They show all of Sarah's old items, and they show her like touching each one. I'm like, she's gonna be great. She's gonna be a badass.
Yeah, there was
Black
the sonic
Canary.
beeper that. I don't remember what it's called. It's
the sonic boom or something like that.
It's a sonic noise. And Sarah used it episode 1, season 2 to save Oliver from Laurel.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a whole circle of life.
And then let's talk about the episode then.
Everybody I think had
everyone had a great emotional.
Diggle I think had my favorite arc throughout the entire episode.
He's playing Oliver.
He's
literally.
In the beginning, you see in the Green Hood, I'm like, did they bring Oliver? And I was like, no, it's Diggle, and it's gonna be awesome. And it was awesome.
He's sitting there, and he's like, this suit's a little tight.
But I think he has the best arc because he even says to Laurel towards the end of the episode, it had me in tears at this point. He's like, it's kind of funny, it's kind of stupid to say, but I always envisioned myself as Oliver's bodyguard, and I couldn't protect him. And then tears fell.
Well, there was that part, but the one scene that had me like conflicted was when Roy was talking to Thea.
Oh, it was a good scene too.
And he's saying, a friend of mine's been missing for a little while, can't find him. And he can't tell her that it's her brother.
Yeah.
Because then she's going to be like, oh, well, why is he there? And because your dad set you up. Because your dad's a dick.
She also asks him to, because she knows he's good friends with the Arrow. She's like, go find him for me.
Yeah.
And he tells Diggle that. He's like, I lied to her. I couldn't tell her that Oliver was dead.
But you know what was very symbolic about that?
What?
He told her he wasn't going to lie to her anymore.
I know.
And he had to.
Oh, yeah.
But Felicity
had the most heartbreaking arc of this entire episode.
She quit?
She quit being Arrow's
Intel.
And she says to Diggle and Roy, she's like, if he's not here, there's none of this. It's over.
But
it's
then
over.
Ray asked her to help, and
she basically goes
didn't work on it.
Shit on Anna and shit. I'm like,
his ex-wife who died.
Holy mother
of
God!
He stops her and he goes, "You do not tell me.
You can't
say what she would have thought."
Yeah, I'm like Ray.
And it was like,
and then she comes back to him. She's like, I can't tell you to not commit suicide by doing this, but I don't have to help you. She hands him the chip, the nano chip, and I don't know where that's going, which I love. I don't know where this show's going.
But then, Malcolm is actually a good guy.
Not really. He's just because he even says to Felicity when he gives her the dagger, when he gives him the dagger,
sword.
He's like, I did the entire thing to
well, that's what made him a good guy, because he gave them that final
I think it was just like, okay, I'm gonna die anyway at this point, so I have to. I'm just.
But basically, he brought them the sword because it's custom for Ra's al Ghul to kill leave, someone, and he leaves the weapon
as a reminder and as a
exactly. But we see that someone's bringing Oliver somewhere.
I called this in the beginning of the episode.
I didn't. I thought it was Malcolm. But
they explained it pretty well with the flashbacks.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Because Oliver and Masaya... They
have to find Alpha.
...are looking for Masaya's wife because she got captured at the end of the season. And Oliver's like, we're going to get her back. But Waller's like, he doesn't even care that if his wife is gone. And he lets a guy go when they find Alpha. And she's like, you hesitated. You were supposed to find him.
And he goes, I'm sorry, I hesitated. It's my fault.
He talks to Masaya.
And then Masaya goes, you didn't hesitate. What did you do? And he goes, there's a tracker in his pocket. We're going to get Tatsu back. And he goes, I owe you
forever. You're in my debt. I'm in your debt
I'm in your debt forever. That's what he says.
And then you find out that he's the one that took Oliver to...
Tatsu.
And they're both back, and she's going to become Katana by the end of the season.
Yes. That's news-ish. Katana's getting her
Which was broke by our site, DC TV Universe. Go check that out. We have that article. Not broke, but we had one of the first articles about
Speaking of articles, go read an article on DC TV Universe.
I talk about why
Sponsor.
John Diggle's time is up on Arrow. He talked about 8 Gotham. No, was it 8? I'm talking about 8. What Arkham?
That's old news.
Who did you want to see? He had an article about who he wanted to see on Arkham, but that's old news. And he had another article about
the Gotham Review.
Not the Gotham Review. He does the Gotham Reviews on the site, but also he did an article with our buddy Charles on the
yes, the likes and dislikes
of Arrow season 3.
3.5
so far, yeah.
But
Arrow's gonna be great. This
season 4 renewed.
Yes, I cannot wait. Slade is supposed to be coming back in a couple episodes.
Yeah,
which is gonna be fantastic. I want to see where that goes.
Oh, we got to go back.
What part?
Flash, traveling back in time.
They did confirm that.
We were discussing with other friends of ours of like storylines they could do with this, and people were saying they could do a Flashpoint where Oliver's dad doesn't kill himself, but Oliver dies, and
so kind of like the whole
Oliver's dad becomes
the Arrow,
the Green Arrow.
But it's also kind of like in Flashpoint when Bruce's dad became Batman and everything. I could see that happening. I would love that.
It would be awesome.
It'd be crazy. It'd be insane.
It'd be great for next season as the crossover.
Yeah, I would love. Oh my god! Another piece of news that we keep forgetting about. The crossovers are going to be an annual thing. They're going to happen every year.
Supergirl got a TV show.
See, we should have talked about this before we went on. Yeah. But Supergirl's getting his T-shirt. They don't know. The T-shirts are going to come with the T-shirt.
That's good.
TV show. They don't know if they're going to cross over. There's been talks.
Melissa Belenist
is going to be Supergirl.
Yeah. I can't pronounce her name.
I thought the girl from Vampire Diaries was going to be her.
I told you who it was.
Yeah, but she's from Glee as well.
Yes.
So we have 2 Glee actors as superheroes, which I think is
didn't
crazy.
know Grant Gustin was on.
Yeah, we were having that discussion.
Yeah.
When they first announced him, I figured he was from Glee.
All right, back on track. Constantine, 2 episodes in. Oh my god, renew it already, please.
The NBC is not going to renew it.
Is quickly becoming one of my favorite shows.
The ratings for the first episode were not so good, but the ratings for the second episode increased to one of their best episodes they've had, all because of one of the villains we'll talk about in a minute.
But the first episode basically
puts the demon inside himself.
Inside of him. That scene where the thing gets right next to him,
and he smells at it. Oh, it was beautiful. This entire episode, we were talking about this. I actually like this episode better than the second one. Didn't you say the second one?
I said the second one.
I like the first episode better.
Oh, did you?
So there's a lot more motion in this episode. I didn't have much of an effect on the second episode, as I did with this. Like, I hated Anna Marie in this episode, but towards the end, you fall in love with her. Zed was great in this episode. Chaz didn't have a big part. Kind of, but he did have a big part. But Constantine was the star of this episode, as he should be. He goes to prison for killing 5 gang members because the demon's inside of him.
And the demon killed him, not him.
And he's in jail.
He becomes...
Did you see who was in jail with him? Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite played one of the drug dealers in this episode.
He played the drug dealer.
Yeah.
He was the guy to go to.
My favorite scene in this episode is Pedro tricks him. I'm going to call him Pedro because I don't remember. I think it was Juan or Julian. But he tricks, because Pedro tricks him into getting killed by the gang members' friends in jail. And Constantine screws him up with the demon. And then he goes outside. He's outside. He wakes up from the trance. And
he gets up and
he's
goes,
like, "Where's Julian?"
And they all move, and he's like,
My favorite part didn't happen. My favorite part didn't happen yet. He goes to him. He's like, "They were in charge." He's like, "I'm in charge now," and he screams at him. And I'm laughing.
The best part, he goes, "Disperse!" And everyone goes, "All right, I'm gonna go do things."
Matt Ryan had so much fun in this episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was great. I loved him in this episode.
Oh, when he got possessed by the demon. Because there wasn't really much leading... And
at the end,
and he's strapped, and Anna Marie says he's going to say things to you that
you shouldn't take to heart, but you're going to take to heart.
And he says some stuff to Anna Marie, like, you're a coward for running away, all this stuff. He says something to Zed, like,
Mary.
You can't outrun...
He says her real name.
Says Mary. And then with Chaz, he goes, "This is why your daughter doesn't love you anymore. Your wife left you." And we didn't
even figure that out till the next episode. Yeah. Why it happens, which I thought was perfect. How they led up to it, which means only 3 episodes left until the season's over. Wow. The next episode is 10. But Constantine. Oh my God, this episode when Constantine realizes he's about to die. Not die, but when he thinks he's gonna die, to Anna Marie, he's crying. He sees the tingle tear.
Yeah.
I was like, this is great writing.
Well, what was great was that serpent dude.
Yeah.
He comes in and he goes, "You have to do it. I'm too far in."
So she's got the dagger, and he's thinking she's gonna stab him.
And she goes and then spins around and stabs this serpent dude, and he turns into snakes and leaves. And I was like,
he was the trickster demon. Yeah.
But then that second episode.
It deals with Chaz and Felix Faust. Longtime DC Justice League villain, which I think is fantastic. The guy that plays him was in Breaking Bad, and he didn't say a word in Breaking Bad. He didn't say one word. He rang a bell. He was a mute basically, and he was badass in that season. But but this one, he is like insane.
He's a mage that was an apprentice that became the head mage. He was stealing people's souls,
and he wants Constantine to suffer.
Chaz's daughter's soul.
That was a good episode.
So they made basically
a deal.
Yeah, that
if you kill a demon,
wizards with like dark magic people, they make a blood bond, and so
blood brothers, yeah.
So they sealed the deal. He killed the demon, or no, he had to banish it to hell.
But he actually kills him.
He killed it.
Yeah, he kills the demon.
And so
Felix is like, that's not good enough.
Nope, that's not the deal. So then
Chaz takes over at this point, which I thought was fantastic.
Find out that how Chaz got his powers was because Constantine did it by accident.
He put a protection spell on him.
And he goes, that actually worked? It was a spell by Merlin to save
somebody.
King Arthur.
Yeah. And
the Round Tablesman. And it was
Chaz and him are in a bar.
A commercial that we're going to have.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, because that's where I edited.
To that commercial, right?
Well, there's no commercial. I lied. I'm a liar.
So you're just going to edit it together?
Yeah, I'm just going to put it together. Maybe an intermission thing.
Okay.
But, so, basically, Chaz's daughter, soul gone, blah, blah, blah.
Constantine's trying to help.
Yeah,
when Chaz
gets his powers because the 47 people that died, their souls went to him, so now that's why we've seen in the past Chaz has the thing through him. He snapped his neck, he's been stabbed.
He was killed 15 times.
Yeah.
Throughout this, I don't know, throughout the season or throughout time.
And he goes to offer to Felix Faust
32 souls.
He says, "I'll give you 32 souls for my daughters." And he goes, "You don't have 32 souls."
Kills himself in front of him.
"Fine, but I'm going to have to change the deal. It'll be 31. And he goes, "If you can." And he slits his throat, and he lays there, and he goes, and he gets up, and Felix is like, "Oh, you can!"
He's like, "We have a deal." He's like, "Oh, we don't do this. We don't do blood pacts together." He's like, "I'll settle for a handshake."
So he shakes his hand, and this Achilles whip or something.
In the early episode, they take items that they need to deal with Felix, and there's an Achilles whip, and he uses it. Constantine uses it on Zed, and he's like, "It's an Achilles whip." And she's like, wasn't Achilles strong?" And he's like,
"Wasn't it Achilles heel?"
Yeah, and that's the point.
And so basically, he shakes his hand, it wraps it around, and deactivates his powers. but Chaz still has his. So he opens a grenade
and just blows himself
up. And then there was a lot of drama with his ex-wife, and it was very adorable. And then at the end was my favorite part.
He's explaining to her the people that died.
Well, he's on time for once.
Yeah.
He's never been on time. He's finally on time, and she's upstairs, and his wife goes, here, it's right there. And he grabs the book and runs upstairs. And he goes, I'm going to tell you a story. And she goes, what's it about? And he goes, a few friends of mine. And he lays next to her and he opens it. And he goes, this is Sarah. She was a nurse. She was a mother. She had 2 daughters, just like you. And then he's like, you see an album full of people, and it's all the people that died in that fire. And it was such a nice, sweet moment. And then Constantine's going to help Zed now fight
deal with the father's army, basically.
And it outstanding.
And next week we have they have symbolism in the episode. They showed in the preview him on the wall, Constantine, and he's getting spiked in his hands like Jesus did. So it's got and this had a lot of angel symbolism in this episode because when he puts the demon in, Manny's up at the top.
That was the episode before it.
Oh, the episode. Oh, okay, so it's throughout this episode, throughout these 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But Constantine puts a demon in, and Manny's like, "You didn't even ask for help from God.
Yeah.
You just assumed we weren't going to help you." And then throughout the episode, you see Manning appearing at different times. And at the end of the episode, when the demon finally gets out, you see Manning watching over him, and it's just like, oh, maybe.
It's kind of symbolism, like he's his guardian angel. Yeah. That's who he is.
So Manning, they show a big part.
So all in all,
3 episodes left for the season, which very sad. Constantine is on a roll right now.
I have a theory with Constantine. I won't talk about it just yet. Maybe I'll write an article about it.
Oh, on Catch DC TV Universe. Go to that site. We're going to keep talking about
9:45.
DC TV. Just put DC TV Universe. Doom.
You know I'm not going to do that, right?
You did something last time. Whatever.
I'll do something small. I ain't going to...
So that was Comic Book Mania.
Glad we're back. I missed you. Are my hands cold?
You're freezing. Get off me.
I'm a skeleton.
Stop it. After camera. Stop it.
After camera?
Off the camera. I was going to say after. Whatever.
Alright, but thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you enjoyed. And sorry about all the interruptions.
Seriously, I'm glad we're back. This is
fun.
Every Wednesday.
This is fun.
So yeah, if you haven't noticed, we talk about Gotham, Flash, Arrow, Constantine, and when it comes back, Walking Dead. Because those are the only... And then Netflix is coming on with a shit ton of shows, which will be Daredevil's first.
We're going to be talking about that. Luke Cage.
Jessica Jones is later in the year.
Then Iron Fist.
Which is... This show is going to be like at least an hour every week. Yeah. So these shows are going to be hard to talk about. But Daredevil and all those shows are going to be... The seasons are going to be out.
Yeah.
So we have to talk about every episode.
Well, we can just make them a single
video every week? Yeah, it's fine. We'll do that. We'll just leave the 5 shows here, and then everything else we'll talk about another show.
But thank you guys so much for watching.
As always,
tell all of your friends.
Yes, please.
It means a lot to us.
Like, we've been joking around this entire episode, but please, check out the DC TV Universe. Really good site.
Yeah.
They're post daily.
The guys are awesome.
They are. They're great people.
If websites aren't your thing, go to Facebook. Facebook ain't your thing, go to Twitter.
Al on Twitter is, like, doing fantastic things. They post recaps. I mean, he posts live every week.
A live tweeting of Flash
and Arrow.
And Candace Patton, the woman that plays Iris, retweeted one of our tweets.
So if you like any of those social media sites, they might even get a YouTube channel. I don't know. What happens in the future?
But thank you guys again.
And as always, like,
comment,
and subscribe.
And as always, I love you.
And we'll see you next week for another episode of Comic Book Mania.
I'm saluting with the wrong hand. Good day.